Hi, welcome. My name is Claire Newton and I run the subject Constructing Environments. So, in this subject, what we're trying to do is to understand how structural systems, construction processes and the materials that we use in the kind of construction palette that we have can enable us to transform ideas into built reality. So, how are the loads above us supported? How are they transferred to the ground? What materials do we use? Why do we use them? What's the impact on how we feel within those buildings? So there are those three kind of main zones, and then we can start with that knowledge to appreciate why the Opera House looks as it does and why it's so different to the Sydney Harbour Bridge, because we're bringing together structures, construction and the materials that are used. And we also get to understand that the way people work within the construction industry changes from decade to decade. So these buildings that you see here, these incredibly iconic buildings, we wouldn't build them today. We'd be doing different things. It's a really useful subject for students who are looking at careers in construction, in design, in landscape architecture, property management. It is currently required if you are going to head towards a major in property or in architecture, and it's optional if you're going towards other majors. So how do we learn within the subject? We actually teach in a way that's a wee bit different to any of the other subjects. A lot of the knowledge is knowledge that you need to learn. And the way we give that to you is in a kind of didactic way on little mini recordings that you access in your own time. It's not kind of like flipped teaching. So, you know, whether you're on the bus or whether you're at home, you can just listen to them in your own time. Now that frees us up to have these different kinds of presentations in theatre like that, where we'll have panel discussions or we'll have particular experts come and have a talk with you. It also means that we can have a 3-hour studio together where we actually do hands-on work, model making, we go out to sites. So the e-learning is linked into a particularly interesting textbook, which is not like any textbook that you've had in high school, and I'll explain that in a little moment. These theatre sessions, one of the things that we try and do is to use the MSD building as a case study. It's an interesting story about the MSD building. It was meant to be built in 2 years. It got finished 4 months early. Now that just about never happens in the construction industry. So we find out how it got completed 4 months early. And it was basically because every vertical element that you see in that building was prefabricated, and that had implications for the timeline. And we hear about that within these theatre sessions. The studio sessions, we do these quizzes, which are kind of like encouraging you to keep up with the flipped learning, the e-learning that you do in your own time, but they're really rehearsal too for the exam. Okay? They're quizzes each week. Some of them are worth points, some of them aren't. We get you doing drawings, we get you building models. Models like these models. So you understand the difference between mass construction and frame construction. You're developing a language as you go through this subject. You're getting to read drawings. You know, this abstract language that all people across the design industries understand, you'll be getting to understand as well. And it's a global language. We head out to site at times. The assessments are these in-class quizzes, 15% of your mark, site assignment 40%. You actually go out, you watch a site being developed across the weeks, you understand who's building what they're building, why they're building. And then we have an exam as well. Now this book I mentioned, when you did a Year 12 text or a Year 11 text, it covered just the content that you needed for that year. This book actually will carry you through into practice. It's got a lot more that you need to know at first year level, and we kind of navigate you through the text knowing that you'll need to keep using it as you go through. But we think that even at first year, what's useful is for you to understand the direction that you're going in. We also get you a complete set of working drawings, construction drawings for one of the University of Melbourne buildings, and in that you can start to sort of work your way through it and learn how to read that building. So that's it from me. I'm the subject coordinator. Rebecca Cameron's a senior tutor. If you've got any questions, you'll find me in the directory, but we look forward to working with you over the coming years. Thank you.